Hello, everyone.
Hello, Grandmaster.
I think it's okay to call this chanting class, benefiting 3 generations chanting class. Everyone inherits from their ancestors. I have my own chanting method that's not mentioned in any school of Buddhist teachings. If I were to ask people to chant for the world, well, few people have reached this realm. They just chant nonchalantly. They're not serious enough due to insufficient concentration. However, they are serious when they chant for their family. There lies the true essence of it. Say, if you suddenly become rich when you hit 40, you'll move to the city, live in a mansion and drive a nice car, right? However, your old father is suffering in the countryside. Even eating a meal is difficult, isn't it? What about your children who are spoiled by your wealth? I smell a toxic relationship between these 3 generations. Why is this? When your parents gave birth to you and raised you, they gained lots of merits. That takes a lot of effort. But when they start cursing you, that's when you kiss your wealth goodbye. Apart from that, more disasters will befall you. I'm not bluffing. This is what I know. That's the truth. Your ancestors or parents are suffering, and you don't care about them at all. Heaven will punish you for this. I call that karmic retribution. Yes, karmic retribution is no joke. Everyone should be worried. It could cost you your life. That's how scary it is. Take note, okay? Let your parents who gave birth to you and raised you feel happy to have you as their child. Make them feel blessed to have you as their child. That's the only way you can be blessed. Your ancestors' blessings will bless your children too. When you serve your parents well, your children will also do the same for you. They learn, you know. If you disrespect and humiliate your parents, you'll be treated the same way by your children, or they could do worse. This is what I want you to understand. If you don't understand this principle, and you treat your parents badly while vowing to save all sentient beings, that makes your compassion a joke. Your goal to liberate all beings is just a joke. Understanding filial piety is the first step in practicing Buddhism. Be a human first, before you become a Buddha. You can't be a Buddha if you're a demon in a human's body. Respecting your parents gives the most merits. Filial piety brings immense energy and powerful blessings. It helps your future generations too. If you want your wealth to reach beyond your 3rd generation, make compassion a family tradition. That's how you live in blessing and peace. That's how your future generations get blessed. That's how you're blessed with the wisdom to achieve enlightenment. This is very important. One more reminder. We didn't teach chanting for oneself in this class. Buddhism is about compassion, so we always pray and chant for others. Now, you're doing it for your parents. And you'll reap the benefits, so you'll do it seriously. It's okay, this is still a good start. Gradually, you'll learn to chant for your friends. and the city, district, or country you live in. Finally, you shall chant for all humans around the world. Is chanting a fix-all? No. It's your compassion. Through chanting, you, in your heart, focus on the better future of the entire world. That is what we call great compassion. When you've developed great compassion, you're liberated. Most humans are trapped within their life obstacles. They don't look like they can self-liberate, so they need extra guidance to reach a higher level state of mind. This is the part that you should digest and understand. If you get what I just said, then liberation is near. Liberation is not about benefiting yourself, but about benefiting all beings. In today's most well-known schools, they have some special requirements for their students. They care about what kind of charity works their students have done, or what they would do for the benefit of humans and society. These universities want students with compassion. All the renowned schools have such requirements. Why? The humanities' brightest minds gather on these prestigious campuses. Therefore, their students ought to have a heart to contribute to the world. In the future, they'll be able to benefit the world in different sectors, not just work hard for their own pockets. This is how the greats are nurtured to benefit the world. For people with a shallow state of mind, when they have power, they'll become corrupted. And that's a disaster for a country. When you've developed a noble state of mind, with a heart to contribute to the world shall become a better place. We feel happy when we help others. So, this benefiting 3 generations chanting method allows us to benefit all humans, their families included. Learners of this method will then want to contribute to the whole world by helping all humans around the world. The world will be a better place when everyone thinks as such. It's okay if we don't have many people learning it today. If you understand this, you'll influence people around you. Slowly, the world will be a more wonderful place. But first, you yourself need to develop such thinking in order to influence those around you. Then, the world will surely become better. It'll help our children to become great people too. Politicians will work to benefit the people. Business people will do the same, not just work to benefit their own pockets. Are there such business people? Of course. I've read about business people who set up their business, not with the goal of making a lot of money. In 2008, Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, was interviewed. The interviewer asked him how he felt about Microsoft stock crashing and losing $5 billion in total. He didn't care. All he cared about was Microsoft providing the best service to the people. And doing charity works to solve the water and sewage issues in Africa. This is what I call a philanthropist who cares for the world, and not his own pocket. A common businessman who lost $5 billion would have complained nonstop or even committed suicide. Bill Gates said he didn't care about the stocks and how much money he lost. All he cared about was how Microsoft can help people. He cared more about his foundation doing the relief work in Africa. This is just a small part of the interview. Many business magnates didn't start their business to make money. If the supercorporations only focused on making money, they wouldn't last that long. They focus on contributing to the world. This is what motivates them. It's not their stocks or revenue that keep them going for 100, 200, or 300 years. It was the noble spiritual goal that helped them and ensured the longevity of their companies. Their businesses will remain as supercorporations. When I talk about concepts such as compassion, broad-mindedness, influencing others, contributing to the world, etc., people may think that I'm dreaming or bluffing. No, in fact, this is what I want to do. And I've been doing it step by step. I'm starting to see some results. Look how many people have recovered due to Bodhi meditation's methods. That's how all existences came into being. Before rocks became rocks, they were nothing but chi, or, in other words, a formless force. This force, combined with light, took the form of rocks. Rocks aren't formed underground, you know. Sand and stone particles are. Rocks weren't formed that way. They became rocks in the blink of an eye. Believe it or not, it's up to you. There were rocks that formed when huge asteroids crash-landed on Earth. When they crashed, they exploded and radiation was emitted, turning animals and other beings into rocks. Water, on the other hand, became crystallites. The scattered materials turn into gemstones and agate. That's how it is. Rocks were formed that way. Their appearances changed after being buried underground for eons. At first, they were nothing but a formless force. The same goes for tumors. You get angry, the force arises, then it stays in your body and becomes a tumor. The same goes for stroke and paralysis. Someone is angry, and then a force enters his body and paralyzes him. The same goes for some random cases of eczema and psoriasis. Many diseases and illnesses were a force to begin with. They're evil chi, or evil force. They were formed when you got angry or worried and became diseases. Many worries, illnesses, and diseases are born from our perceptions in our mind. Our minds make our worries and diseases. One event can affect you differently depending on how you perceive it. You could either get angered by it or just laugh it off. It could either make you healthier or make you sick. That's how it is. Our mind decides how an event affects us. I don't mean just mentally, but physically too. For example, you can get a tumor from getting angry. Not just a tumor. You might fall and hurt your back too. Our emotions do affect our physical health. You should learn from me and be happy with every moment you live. You don't have to be super capable to be happy. You don't have to be the happiest person on earth. Many Buddhists practice to be the happiest person on earth. Personally, I think it's good enough if we can solve our problems. It's good enough if people know how to self-liberate. To self-liberate is to perceive your worries from different angles. One of our practitioners drove a 20-year-old American car. He always needed to fix his old car. That was an American car. He fixed the car by himself. One day, he couldn't get his car started, so he began kicking it. I told him more kicking wouldn't help anything. He told me he was angry. He had wanted to get a new car for a long time. What was stopping him? He couldn't afford a new car. That was why he got angry. He got jealous of people who could afford good cars. As a person who was born and bred in Canada, he drove an old car, so he was very angry. He asked me how he could liberate himself from this. I asked him to volunteer in the rural parts of Myanmar, and he was happy to go. I offered to provide him with the flight ticket. After searching online, the next day, he told me, "I don't think I'll go." His excuse? Busy schedule. In Myanmar, trucks and vans were converted into makeshift buses. The passengers would grab onto whatever they could. A turn or a sharp break would cause some people to fall. Dangerous. Human life is worthless over there. That's just how it is. So this old Canadian is quite blessed, after all. Perceiving things from another angle, one would think differently. If people could compare their problems with other people's, they could self-liberate easily. This is the message I want to convey in this chanting class. I make the message very clear, and hope you can understand it and apply it. If you get what I say, then you're liberated. If you're angry, always ask yourself, where were you 500 years ago? You've no idea, right? Don't give me stupid answers like, in my mother's womb. We're talking about 500 years ago. Your great-grandmother wasn't even born yet. That's not 5 generations ago, maybe 10, 20 or 30 generations back. A generation is about 18 years. Before one becomes a human, one isn't even considered a life form. Science hasn't got what it takes to let us live longer. Can mortals like us live for a few hundred years? No way. We're nothing but passers-by on this planet. Suppose you're unhappy or even angry about some petty things. Someone glared at me, so I decided not to go to work. The boss criticized me a bit. So I went home, closed the door, and didn't go out anymore. You fought with your love because a dish tasted bad? These examples are what losers do. We're passers-by on this planet. We don't stay for too long. You'll be pushed to move forward. You can't even decide if you want to stay or not. Passers-by move quickly, so they see lots of illusions. Also, your existence is not real. Nothing is real. The forms you see are like images in the movies. And you're just an actor who gets too excited. If you were born a girl, you'd grow into a woman over time, marry and become a wife. Some illusions would make you jealous, such as your girlfriend's designer clothes, big houses, jewelry, etc. These are not real at all. A shelter and food are all you need. Even though food is real, don't be too particular about it. Apart from food and shelter, you don't need other things. An emperor was also a human, not a god. Emperors were very powerful and no one dared to offend them. But they couldn't do anything when their own tombs were raided. Even an emperor is just a passerby. We're all passers-by. Emperors owned everything. They owned illusions, that's all. It's not real. Once you understand what I'm saying, you should get over the petty stuff. It's painful to spend every day quarreling and fighting. It's better to understand this ultimate truth and stop being so attached. Life is just a dream. There's no need to get angry over petty stuff. Like what? Maybe a not-so-delicious meal. Some girls say that they can't go out without their makeup. You know what I feel about this? Stupid. That's adding more illusion to an illusion. It's stupid. A girl once came to me and asked me how she looked. Out of courtesy, I said, pretty. She told me her looks were natural, without makeup. I thought makeup wouldn't make her look prettier. She thought I was being honest, but I was just being polite. Makeup or no makeup, it doesn't make much difference. A woman with makeup will still look like a woman, not a guy. You can wear a mask, but that doesn't conceal who you are. So, when you see through these things, you'll be able to let go of your attachments. Your feelings are not real. Don't be fooled by them. I'm not telling you to be a cheater. What I'm trying to say is that as a passerby of this planet, we shouldn't get too carried away by our feelings. Everything is nothing but a dream. I'm not telling you to give up life, but to let go of the petty stuff. Don't be bothered by what you consider big things either. How important are your so-called important matters anyway? When guys come to me, they ask about their career. The ladies are always about their marriage or divorce. Divorce, for me, is nothing but good news. Trust me, the next guy will be better. Many women told me they're dead after getting divorced. They don't look dead when they meet a new guy. They even have the strength to run away with their new lover. So, for those who are divorced, please heal yourself. Train your body and mind. Practice energy bhagwa. Okay? Your next relationship will be better. Still married? Good, stay in it. Why? Because your next relationship might not be as good as your current one. To save your marriage, just apologize and buy your partner a gift. That's how easy it is. What if you're preparing for a divorce? It's easy. In Buddhism, there's a practice called repenting, right? You do the same by buying an expensive gift for your partner. Also, repentance, apology, and even feigning ignorance. For your marriage and your children, stay. Even if your partner kicks you away. This doesn't cost you a penny, right? Trust me, you'll earn more by pretending to be dumb. Doing that in front of your family is considered wisdom, okay? You do this to your partner, not to strangers, okay? Just apologize to your partner. That's easy, right? This shows your wisdom. Again, don't do that to strangers, okay? That's what I want to say. Once, a village elder was invited to my cousin's wedding. The village elder was a bit drunk, and he was supposed to deliver a speech. He looked around for his text, but he couldn't find it. In the end, you know what he said? He kept it terse, saying, "I hope each of your marriages is better than the last." That's what I call the ultimate truth. There are people who change jobs often to get the best jobs. Can they do the same for their marriage? What do you think?
Stick to one marriage and get old together. That is the best situation. Changing partners is troublesome.
But if the couple is always fighting, how can they get old together?
Bear what the ordinary cannot bear.
Yes, that's what you do to get old together in a relationship. Bear what the ordinary cannot bear. Do what the ordinary cannot do. Embrace every challenge that comes your way. That's what courageous people do. You see, the person you marry was a stranger to you to begin with. With that said, of course, getting together is not easy. Even siblings have differences of ideology and opinion. I don't think you and your siblings have the same jobs or support the same political party. No way. In the States or Taiwan, 3 brothers could be supporters of 3 different parties. This is common. Fighting among siblings is common during elections. They're friendly to each other when politics aren't involved. Even siblings may have many differences. After marrying a man or woman who was a stranger to you before, how can you expect that they perfectly aligns with your preferences? You will like some of their traits, but not all their traits, okay? This is common because you married a human. Every person has their own wisdom, views, values, and emotions. That's just how they are. So, things may be steady usually, but when emotions come into play, everything changes. A happy person says yes to everything, and vice versa when they're not happy. That's how it is. From looking for your partner to making your marriage last. You need to learn compassion. Also, be respectful, forgiving, caring, soft-hearted, responsible, and understanding. Always repent. Hardworking too. To maintain a marriage, only taking action is not enough. And language is also very important. Let me give the guys a tip. If you're married, it's okay if you don't remember your birthday. But don't forget your wife's birthday and the date of your wedding anniversary. The ladies complain about their husbands forgetting their wedding anniversary. When it comes to guys, they forget even how old they are, let alone the date they got married. For most guys, dates are not important, so they tend to forget about them. They don't remember the so-called important dates. That's how it is. Many ladies find this unforgivable. How could a husband forget the wedding anniversary? Does this mean he is a bad guy? He's just careless. Ladies, your husband is not good at remembering numbers. That includes the date he got married, his birthday, his mother's birthday, and even his age. You need a huge banner to remind him. That's how you deal with a forgetful person. Or you stick a post-it on the door with the important dates. Saving these dates in your cell phone is not enough. Or you can use your phone's reminder function. Save the wedding anniversary in your phone and set the reminder a week or a day before the important date. Remind your husband to buy gifts for the wedding anniversary. Can't afford an expensive gift? Just buy a carrot then, and make salad with it. Make it a proper celebration. It's about how much respect you have for these occasions. Sorry to say, important dates are not real, but they make people happy. Guys, show your state of mind by playing along with your wife and pleasing her on these unreal occasions. I apologize for saying this, ladies. People are attached to illusions such as makeup. Brushing your teeth and putting on makeup are examples of being attached to illusion. Do you know anyone who brushes their teeth or puts on makeup? That's an attachment to illusion. So, what is Buddhism? People tend to think that Buddhism deals with life after death. You don't have a say on your life after death. So it's better to teach you how to behave while you're still alive. This will help your liberation. Most men suffer after getting married. Why? They don't know how to be a good husband. They don't know how women behave. They don't know what women want. Is it makeup? Or maybe birthdays? Guys, you can forget when your birthday is, but not your wife's and your in-laws. Many don't know what birthday gifts to give to their in-laws. Go online, check it out. Do that, and your wife won't be mad. Your wife may compare her husband with her sister's husbands. What gifts do her sister's husbands buy? Are their gifts better than what she receives? They're all carrying big or small bags. See? Attachment to illusion. Some may just give a red packet with $200 as a gift. I would like to tell you that it's better. If you use the $200 to buy a big and heavy gift package with many things in it. Many people prefer wealth over money. The cunning ones judge the gift by its value, not its size. The not-so-educated ones prefer huge gifts over money. For them, a stack of cash is not better than 2 big cabbages. Are they going to sleep with the cabbages?
Imagine if they receive a cart of cabbages.
Yes. There are different kinds of in-laws. The not-so-educated ones are easily satisfied, thanks to their attachment to illusion. Are their daughters the same? It's hard to say. So it's safer to buy your wife a big cake on her birthday. If you mistreat your wife, your in-laws will be mad at you. This is what I know. When we study Buddhism, what should we learn? Just discuss where to go after death. You still have a long way to go before death. What do you do now? It's better to learn to do the right thing while alive, so you could live in peace with your wife. It's also about living longer, like 80 years. You'll live a much shorter life if you always fight with your wife, regardless of your partner's state of mind. You still have to please them often. It's easier to please a person with a higher state of mind. The lower, the harder. People with a high state of mind are understanding. Low state of mind means more conflicts.
People with a high state of mind don't care. And those with a low state of mind won't tolerate your mistakes.
Yes, that reminds me of an arranged marriage. The guy and woman had met 6 or 7 times before. They were both in their 30s. It was in Vancouver. The woman asked me to join the meeting. She wanted my opinion on whether the guy was husband material. That guy brought along his mother, and the woman brought her parents and me. We sat in a coffee shop. At first, the parents of both sides were just being courteous and trying not to offend each other. And then, the woman's mother went into the main topic. She said her daughter was like a princess in their family. The guy's parents almost said their son was their prince. So, the woman's mother stated, "If you and my daughter get married, she shouldn't do any chores at all. She must be treated like a princess. So she won't be doing the dishes, taking out the trash, cleaning, etc." Then the guy's mother asked, "Who will be doing all these chores then?" "Your son, of course. He's got some muscles." The guy's dad got really angry. I couldn't listen to them any longer. So I said, it's better if they don't get married. I told the woman's mother that. She was trying to create a capitalist-slave relationship. That's not a marriage, it's slavery. I said the guy wasn't raised to serve her daughter, and that she would stay single forever if her mother's attitude didn't change. Her mother was stunned. "How dare you?" I told her that her attitude would turn all candidates away, and that her daughter might stay alone forever. And then, her daughter said, "I agree with you, Master." She detested her mother's attitude too. She turned to her mother and said, "This young man is a prince to his parents." She told her mother to let them decide on the household chores. Then she added, "Please, don't be angered by my mother's ignorance." What a wise young lady. She left with the young man, hand in hand. Her mother ended up with a flushed face. She quickly changed her tune and said, "I, like all parents, worry about my daughter." Then the guy's parents said, "It's okay, our son is good with the house chores. We can help them too." Luckily, it ended well. The young couple later got married. Nobody cared about who did more house chores. Who cares? Let them live their own happy life. So, you see, this is how people are. Humans create troubles out of nothing and cause themselves worry. I'm talking about this mother who created trouble out of nothing to torment her daughter. This is wrong. When we start learning Buddhism, we first learn to be a decent person, benefiting people around us. In a marriage, we can also act like bodhisattvas. Love, forgive, help, understand, and take care of your spouse, right? That's what you do. This is what couples do. We want to see couples loving, instead of fighting each other. The thing is, most people know nothing about this. The most tormenting troubles in today's world are 1. Job, career, and 2. Relationship, marriage. Most of the time, the latter is more troublesome. Be a decent person and do decent things. Don't create troubles out of nothing. This is what I call liberation. When you mess up your own marriage, it's your own fault, not the deity's fault. Most people blame the deities for not watching their backs. Blame yourself, okay? If you keep taking something away from your house every day, your house is going to collapse sooner or later. People who make no effort to maintain their marriage tend to blame their partner when they're getting divorced. Blame yourself, okay? Learn to be a decent person first in order to suffer less. If you're decent, you'd be welcomed by people around you. When people see a bodhisattva in you, it means you've succeeded. Many have failed to be a decent human being, and they claim they're qualified for heaven. That is impossible. If you can't talk and behave decently, where is the genuine compassion in your heart? How can you create accomplishments? This is how Buddhism can be applied to daily life. Be a decent person, chant for your relatives, your neighbors, schoolmates, and all beings in the world. This shall liberate you. Your illness shall heal instantly or soon. All right, let's start chanting.
Nam mô Quan 世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无 世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无 观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南 观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无 观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨， 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。
Now it's time for our closing exercise. Rub your palms until they're warm. Glide your palms over your face from chin to forehead to cheek without actually touching them. Rub your palms until they're warm. Part your fingers and firmly comb your hair from forehead to the back of the neck. Rub your palms. Pat your entire body from top to bottom. Pat your head firmly with relaxed wrists. Do it calmly. Pat your left shoulder. Then pat your right shoulder. Continue to pat your chest. Then pat your left armpit down to the side of your rib cage. Switch to the right. Pat your right armpit down to the side of your rib cage. Next, pat your abdomen with relaxed hands. Please stand up slowly. Pat down from the front of your thighs, knees, shins, ankles, and tops of your feet. Gently pat the lower back, down to the buttocks, down to the back of your thighs, calves, ankles, and heels. Continue to pat the inside and outside of your legs. Start with your left leg. Relax your wrists and pat with slight force. Then pat your right leg. Continue to pat your arms. Start with your left arm. Then pat your right arm. After patting your entire body, rub your palms. Gently massage your whole body without actually touching it. Visualize that you are gently sweeping away the dust and worries. You are becoming healthy and happy. At the same time, think, I'm closing this meditation practice.
That's all for today. Today is the last day of this chanting class, so I don't have to talk too much. Listen to the lessons a few more times if you're free. Try to truly understand them and get enlightened. If you get what I'm talking about, most of your worries and afflictions will be gone. I wish you a wonderful life.
Received.
I wish you an enlightened life.
Received.
I wish you kindness and compassion.
Received.
Today's class has successfully completed.
在茫茫人海之中，让我与您相遇。小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变得更坚定，不忧忧无虑。因为有了你，日子不再有哭泣，不再有